Hey there, it's been a while. I just got back from the airport. I'm here in my new apartment in Chicago. Messy, clearly. I haven't quite finished putting it together yet, obviously. And I just wanted to check in and let you know about something that I just experienced. I've seen that a number of people have started following me after I stopped regularly posting to this site. So for those of you who are new, hello, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you saw something that you liked. And I've been thinking about what to do with this page now that I'm not really updating it regularly or charging for it. And I think I've found some ways to continue to post here usefully, kind of on the same themes or similar themes, but with a bit more focus. To that end, I want to post about the experience I had this weekend. Some of you will remember last year, I posted a social media clip about feeling a tremendous sense of FOMO for missing a music festival called EDC, the Electric Daisy Carnival, which takes place in a number of cities around the world, but the big one is in Las Vegas. And I resolved right then and there, I'm going in 2025. Well, it was this weekend, and I just got back. I knew that part of the reason I had not gone to EDC in the past, even though I love dance music and I love to dance, was that I had layers of very illogical, but apparently quite durable fear around being seen in situations that might affect my reputation, as stupid as that sounds. I think when you've had layers of pressure put upon you to excel, it's very hard to compartmentalize that, or at least it was for me, in moments when I just needed to cut loose and have fun. And so feeling the pressure of a sterling reputation and enormous community expectations sort of made me closeted in a way. Not closeted as gay, but closeted as me. I once heard Jane Fonda say, "We're not made to be perfect. We're made to be whole." And I think that I sublimated a lot of my need for community and connection into my work, but it's not enough. And it's never going to be enough. You got to have both of those things. So I just got back. And EDC is one of these like dusk to dawn music festivals. It starts in the evening and goes all through the night and ends around 5 a.m. And so when you're leaving, it takes place at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, takes over the whole facility. I got one of the shuttle bus passes, and the shuttle buses cut through the east side, with permission, of course, the east side of Nellis Air Force Base. If you've ever seen the Air Force Thunderbirds, the precision flying group, the Thunderbirds are based at Nellis, just outside, just like kind of on the edge of Las Vegas. And so it was gigantic, took over the whole speedway, 9 concert size and caliber stages with all kinds of electronic and dance music playing. There was Mexican banda music. I heard a remix of Smooth Operator by Sade. I heard a remix of Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival. I was like, what is that? Okay, I see where you're going. There was African dance music. There were some really big names. It was pretty incredible. And I met so many wonderful people. I got some friendship bracelets that they give away at these raves, which were very nice. This was the very first one that I got, this one right here. And then a friend of mine gave me one of his very first. And then these are 2 others I got. And I got this one just as I was leaving, like just as I was walking out of the festival. Somebody had put this on my arm. And so I came back into the hotel as the sun was rising, sat down on the edge of the bed, took a breath, and bawled. Just came apart crying for 45 minutes. Cried my heart out. Snot everywhere. It was just like, it was a very ugly cry. And I was holding my chest and shaking and wailing and just completely, I just broke. And I felt like, did the EDC break me? This huge, wonderful, adventurous, chaotic, crazy, but beautiful event with all these lovely people going in every direction. And I thought, no, it didn't break me. It broke those chains of fear and shame that had been wrapped around me so long that I thought they were part of me. and I felt them shatter. And it changed everything. I know that sounds very grandiose. And look, most people do not have a spiritual experience when they go to a music festival, right? A lot of them, particularly the young ones, they just go, dance, hang out, consume whatever they choose to consume, and that's it. It's a fun weekend. And good for them. I'm glad they don't have to deal with the emotional and the spiritual baggage that I brought with me. I would not wish that on anyone. And I was very shocked that EDC touched this nerve, and I was completely overwhelmed by it, and that was not what I expected to get out of it, but that's what life chose to give. And, I think about my grandmother, who used to be in church on Sunday. She would shout in church, like in line with the Black Baptist church or the Black church experience. My mother would, dance to Earth, Wind, and Fire, and now she rides a motorcycle. And I went to an all-night rave festival and just kind of like got my life and met all these wonderful people who, gave me acknowledgement and just a little bit of love and a memory to take with me. And I think the reason I bring all of this up and what this has to do with what you and I have been talking about for the last few years is I think that part of the ways in which we connect and part of the reason why the world feels so unmanageable right now is because some connections need to be transcendent and almost anonymizing. They need to be bigger than us. I think whether people go to music festivals or Renaissance fairs or cooking festivals, food fairs or motorcycle rallies or church revivals, or whether they go see 5 Broadway shows in a weekend or whatever, whether they go to like a Comic-Con or whatever it is that they do. I think the things that connect people based on their passions and the things that make them come alive, the things that express what's hard to verbalize, that really connects people in a deep and meaningful way. Because it means it doesn't matter who you are or what you are or where you're from or how you live or how you love or how you voted. We can connect on a level that literally transcends everything else. And it occurs to me that if the political situation of the world today worries you, the worst thing you can do is stay worried. Let it go. The people who are trying to burn the world down right now know you're worried. They know you're freaked out, and they want you to stay that way. And the best way I have found to break out of that is to get out of my own way. I could feel when I was at EDC, my constant sense of hypervigilance just fell away. And when you're being vigilant, particularly hypervigilant, which I tend to be, especially living in Chicago, which is a new city to me. Chicago is lovely, but it's new to me, so I'm still finding my way. When you're being hypervigilant, whether it's about your surroundings or politics or your finances or the world in general, you are in your own head. You're rolling on your thoughts of the future, which probably won't come to pass. And that means you're focused on you. You can't connect with others. See, you can't worry about the world, but focus on yourself and expect to be effective. You have to let the worry go so that you can be available with your heart and with your mind and with your time and your talents to connect with people who will need you to be a part of their journey. But you cannot do that if you are riven with fear over the world around you. None of what I went through in my career was spiritually worth it in the long run. Did I learn a lot? Yes. Did it build me an economic base? Of course. Did it take more than it gave? From day one. And I think being willing to get out and live, whether it's at EDC or whatever, has been so remarkably healing. And it makes me so grateful that I'm not out of time, that I can still fix this. And that the part of me that I thought I was smothering into silence and or worse for the sake of getting by is resilient and endured and came out pissed. It came roaring out and it was ready to go. I didn't have to hunt for it. I came over the steps and looked out on the whole vista of the event and immediately got excited. And it felt like one big side quest, like a little kid who's been let loose in a science museum and he wants to touch everything and see everything. And that's what he's there for. That was what happened to me. And I just darted into the crowd and I just explored all through the night for 3 nights. And I'm overwhelmed. And I'm really grateful that I'm not out of time. So, what does this mean for you? I swear I'm not going to be weepy every time we talk, but I think that if we're going to have this conversation and if the nightlight is going to survive, I think it needs to be about what you do to take care of you, regardless of what's going on around us. I can't fix the world. I can't, and this is where the name of this project of the nightlight came from. It is dark, and I can't make the sun come up, but it will come up. And until it does, let's go dance under the stars. I did it all weekend, and it healed me. It healed me. And the world is still a mess, and the future is still uncertain, and I am healed from something that I needed to let go of so that I can face the crazy world. Because I can't carry my baggage and the world's baggage at the same time. I have to drop mine. And if I can help us to drop ours, then when it's time to focus in on politics and governmental issues that we can actually do something about, then great, we're ready to go. And I want to be ready when that moment comes. And now I feel like I can be. And I'm so grateful. I look down at these and I'm like, wow, every one of these represents a person who saw me and was like, you're kind of cool. I like your vibe. Let me give you this thing. And these are just, I mean, this wristband is this GA Plus is my event pass. This was the ticket to get in. You scan in, boop, and then you go in. Amazingly well run event. But like, these are people who saw me and just wanted me to feel loved and seen. And I did. And now I want to do that for others. There is an acronym in the rave community. PLUR, P-L-U-R, or PLUR, I don't know how you pronounce it. Peace, love, unity, respect. Those are the values of my life. And I never thought that I would actually feel the embodiment of that in a space like EDC. But wow, I needed that. I've needed that a long time. My adult life, my whole adult life. I should have been raving from college and just not worry about what other people thought, but I didn't know how to do that then. They say when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. Well, I guess I was ready because I spent all weekend in school and I think I made the grade. So anyway, I'm going to stop sniveling and get an actual tissue. This is a paper towel. And we'll stay in touch. And I'll try to figure out less emotional ways to talk about this. I don't know where this conversation goes, but I know that we have to find new ways to connect one another if we're going to make it out of the messes that we're in. And I don't know if politics is the way to do it. I don't even know if civic engagement or civil dialogue is the way to do it. I wonder if it's culture. I wonder if it's finding those things that transcend us, finding those things that let us unleash and let that be the inlet just to humanize us back to one another as a first step and then worry about the rest later. But man, I feel very seen and very loved. And I don't feel alone. I feel like player one. I feel like it's just one big side quest. And for the first time in a really long time, it actually feels good to be in the game. Anyway, that's what happened to me. Thank you for listening to all of this. I hope you'll be in touch. Let me know if you can relate, if you have other thoughts. We'll keep the conversation going. Take good care of yourselves. Many thanks to Insomniac Events and EDC. If you happen to watch this, wow, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this, and I will be back next year. And so until we meet again, thanks again for watching, and as always, keep shining your light because someone like me needs your light right now.